Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's People Chat. Thank you for joining us. I am Lori Ruffin with the COO team, and joining us today is Crystal Speed. She'll be on in just a moment, and we're really excited because today is the first People Chat of 2019. We're really excited about the subject that we are going to discuss today. If this is your first time joining our broadcast, I want to encourage you to share this. We have designed the People Chats to serve all kinds of leaders, organizational leaders, whether you are a nonprofit leader, you are a for-profit leader, a social enterprise organization, a B Corp. We're here for you. If you are in some kind of way leading people or leading some sort of effort, it's always going to involve people. So our goal is to provide helpful tips as you serve and lead and fulfill your mission. So really excited about today. Crystal Speed will be with us in just a moment. Okay.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Yes, good to see you too. All right, I was just telling everybody what we're talking about today and how we've got such a great subject lined up. So I hadn't yet shared the title, so I
Okay.
guess I'll share it now.
Yes.
The top 5 systems and processes that your organization needs in 2019. These are the essential systems for 2019. So anyway, I'm really excited to have this conversation today, Crystal. Maybe you can just kick us off. Why is this an important topic for us to even tackle?
Yeah. So again, hi, this is Crystal, your HR strategist, and really exciting to be able to talk with our business leaders about the need for systems and a good process. So many times organizations or individuals within organizations are like, we do this every single month and it doesn't get any easier. It's like we have the same type of process that needs to be done, but each time it's different. It takes too much time. We don't know what's going on. And that's because you don't have a really good system in place that helps you to work smart and to use your time effectively. So systems really just help organizations be able to do more. Have a repeatable process or a repeatable way of doing things, and to be able to save time and really be efficient in how they undergo normal everyday process. So we'll talk about like areas in which systems are most helpful, and we'll also give you some examples of systems that we use or recommend to our business partners to use to really help their businesses do more and to be successful and effective in what they do.
Yes. Thanks so much for kind of introducing this to the people. I think it's really important. It's a really important conversation, and it applies not just to business leaders, but nonprofit leaders, organization leaders as a whole. So, So I guess we should just dig in. We have identified 5 different areas that are really important to apply systems. And so I'll just share that list for everybody today. Number 1, strategic planning process. That is really, really important because if an organization doesn't know where it's going, the big picture of where it's going, then it's easy to be doing all kinds of random activities day to day that are not moving the organization towards its mission. So a solid strategic planning process should happen at least once a year, but then there should be checkpoints during the year to make sure that everybody's still aligned with where we're going as a whole. And so that's the number 1, and it's more of a process than it is a system per se. But yeah, that's the number 1 thing. And so then other systems that are really important are financial systems. Show me the money. Where and how are we tracking our financial resources? Where do we log our expenses? Where do we log our income? That's really important. And again, in the nonprofit space, we want to definitely make sure that we have enough resources to support the mission and the activities that are required to fulfill the mission. And then the for-profit space, if you're not making dollars, then it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Corny joke, insert corny joke here. But that's so important. And so there, thankfully, our systems, we don't have to struggle or recreate the wheel there are great programs and systems that work for that, like QuickBooks and FreshBooks. I mean, there's so many different things, Xero. There's so many different applications that can be used, whether you're a one-person shop or a team, a large team. A financial system is going to be really important to really track the financial resources. Another really important system is communications. And I like to think about communications in two categories. There's internal communications and there are external communications. Internal is what are our processes and what are the systems that we use to communicate with the team that's actually doing the work. And so whether we're talking about volunteers, employees, or contractors, people need to know what is going on. And so what are the processes and the systems that we utilize in order to make sure that everybody's on the same page and moving in the same direction. And then you have external communications that are really important because an organization exists to fulfill some sort of purpose. And so whether it's a customer or client base, we've got to have a way to really communicate that message and that value of the organization to the external world. And some really important systems that are important when it comes to communications are like your brand. What is your look and your feel, and how is that consistent over time, and how is that expressed externally? And then as it relates to work internally and in communicating things as it pertains to activities for those that are actually working together to fulfill that mission. So and when I think about communications, that kind of segues, especially internal communications, that segues into another category of systems, project management. How are we as an organization as a whole tracking what we're doing, our activities, what are we getting done, who's doing it, and by when? And so project management systems are really important. And so it wouldn't be right for us to talk about all of these other systems. 1, strategic planning. 2, financial systems. 3, communication systems. 4, project management systems, without talking about the obvious one, the people systems. So Crystal, I've been running my mouth long enough. Would you just chime in and talk to us about people systems?
Yes. So with people systems, you definitely want to look at the systems that will help you not only attract, but onboard, develop, and then offboard or out process your talent. And so again, we're talking about not only employees, but also volunteers and contractors as well. So you want systems and processes that are in place that will really support moving through kind of the life of your organization and kind of the seamless transition from one stage to the other. And so I like to think about it maybe in 3 or 4 different buckets. So when we're thinking about the talent acquisition, acquiring or attracting the talent that you need. So you want to have a system that's really helping you think about what are your requirements, those active requirements, and even those that are projected, being able to see who you're reviewing for these requirements and then how they're moving through your pipeline, so to speak. Then you want to have some system that helps with the onboarding, really getting all the essential information that you need for an individual and the components that are really going to help them be successful in your organization. And then you also want some performance management type of system that would really help with developing your talent, being able to help with succession planning for the organization overall, and really supporting your employees in their growth. Your employees, your volunteers, your contractors, their growth with your organization through their life or their tenure with the organization. Related to the financial piece is definitely payroll and thinking about systems that help support that. I really like solutions that are very holistic in nature, that take each of these phases of an individual, specifically an employee's tenure with you, and really combines it into one system that can really help you have all the information that you need to be able to make the decisions that you need. But, depending on your size of the organization or your size of the team, you may have a couple different systems. It's just making sure that the information from one is able to talk and communicate with the other one. So one other thing I'd like to mention, and just overall, we talked about, these different areas where systems and process are needed to run an effective organization. The great thing is when you're building systems in one place or implementing systems in one place, it really supports the organization overall. So there could be even places of integration between your strategic planning system to your communications, your financial, your people. So and your project management. So there are ways to really be able to have the information or the data from one be able to help inform other areas. And I really like it when these integrated solutions really help organizations do that well.
Yes, that's really important. That's really important, Crystal, because, you know, it seems like when we lack systems, to go back to something that you mentioned beforehand, one, organizations are recreating the wheel. It takes longer to do repeatable tasks over and over and over again because we're figuring it out each time. But if it's something that's going to happen on an ongoing basis, it's possible to define a process and actually get some sort of system in place to codify it, one, so that it's not dependent on that one person who knows how to get that done. And then there's institutional knowledge, you know,
Right.
that can kind of be passed on, as well as the idea that everybody can be on the same page because there's communication around it, it's codified, we know what we're using, we know where to go to find the information. And so at this point, we have talked about it. Why don't we share with the people some systems that we like? I know we both kind of have our little secret list of the things that we really love. And so maybe I'll give it a go with the systems that I really like, and then also mention a few others that can be helpful. So in the realm of strategic planning, like I mentioned before, that's more of a process, and I think it's important to do that, you know, annually. The COO team does have a strategy academy for those who are looking to develop a strategic plan. That's a 90-day process that helps an organization walk through all of the pieces of a strategic plan step by step. And so if you're interested in that, definitely inbox us, and we can help you get your strategic planning process plan in place. So that's kind of number one. Number two, financial systems. I love QuickBooks. I really, really love QuickBooks, and they have different packages. They have some QuickBooks options that are local to one computer, and others that are online in the cloud where people can access it from different places. The self-employed one is great for smaller organizations. It's $9.99 a month and really easy to use. Expensify is a great place to capture your receipts, and in both of those systems, you can import your transactions. So all of the expenditures can automatically be taken into your system. Thing about Expensify is that if you have expenses that are less than $75, it will generate a receipt for you, which is great for those of you who lose your receipts, like myself sometimes. So you can take pictures and upload those there. Mileage IQ for those that drive a lot. You're able to track your mileage, which is helpful during tax season for those that are leading for-profit businesses. In terms of communication systems, it's really, really important to think about your brand. What is your logo? What are your colors? What are the fonts that you use? And codify that in a document so that as different graphic designers design for you at different times, they can reference that document. Canva is a great system. If you need to fake it until you make it and you don't have the dollars to invest in a professional designer, you can use Canva to make sure that you have brand consistency at a no to low cost. For communication tools, in order to communicate and send out emails, you've got MailChimp. Infusionsoft is more on the expensive end. They've got some CRMs that are customer relationship management databases that include automation. So ConvertKit is one. And these are just some examples. We'll leave you a list of them. And then when it comes to project management, I personally love Asana, and Crystal loves Smartsheets. There's Trello, Basecamp. And so, Crystal, how about you tell us about some of the people systems that exist that can be helpful?
Right. So depending on what end of the spectrum you're on. So if you're a smaller organization or you don't have a large budget for people systems, then Smartsheets has a lot of great templates that you can utilize when thinking about developing an applicant tracking system of your own, where you're just tracking individuals, whether they're paid or volunteers, that are going through your talent acquisition process. So you can just create spreadsheets and templates through Smartsheet. For a larger organization, or where you might have more dollars that you can really put into different systems, I like ADP, their networked solution, so to speak, where it's not just payroll. They have other solutions and partnerships that really help you manage from when you post your job requisition up into like the full life of an employee with your organization. I also like Payroll Network. It's also has a piece called 𝗖𝗏𝗏𝗏, but Payroll Network is a really great way to have your human resource information system all in one place. So it has all of the like compliance documents. You can do your I-9 there. You can get the taxes set up, have employee information as far as like skills, education, background that really helps with thinking about succession planning. They don't have a performance management piece that I'm aware of, but you know, that's something that maybe you could build out and then have talk to that system. I've also utilized specifically for performance management SuccessFactors, which is a great tool for really being able to have a living, breathing area where your employees, your staff, and your team really understand how they work together. So it talks about the core values, core competencies, job-specific tasks, and how individuals are doing. And you can post updates to your project. So as you're doing things and you want to highlight what's happening on your team, you can really archive that information, and then it'll be there for those performance conversations. So those are a couple of things that I really like. As I said, depending on what your budget is, you can either, you know, create templates that really support at least having some knowledge and having the information in one space. But if you have dollars associated with people systems, then you can go for some of the more robust solutions that, again, integrate various people process areas into one system.
Thanks. That's really great. Thanks for offering that insight into that. And I think you raised the point that there will be variance in our budgets, and I am just delighted to let everybody know that systems are important, regardless if you are a super duper small organization or really really large. And thankfully, there are many options out there, low cost options where a lot of free systems can help you when you're getting started out, and you can scale up and you can change over as the needs of your organizations evolve. So what we'd like to do is we're going to give you our secret list of our recommended software and systems that you can use. If you will just check, we'll drop it all into the description of this live. We want to ask you, if you've seen this live, to share it with your friends, other leaders, post it on your page, because there may be someone else that might be helped by it. And drop in your favorite system. If you have reviewed the list and you see that there's something that you really love to use that we haven't mentioned, definitely feel free to share it with the people. Okay?
Yes.
So we're glad to be with you, and we look forward to seeing you next week's People Chat.
Yes. Take care.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.